Okay. Go ahead.
So I came to United States in 2004, and I started doing jobs. And then since I'm from a francophone country, but I lived in Zambia for a few years, and I came to United States. So I was just working minimal jobs, like working at the airport, all that, and going to school at the same time. So the recruiter technically spoke to me when I was taking ESL classes, and I got so interested. They gave me all the thing because my said was like to go to school, but I didn't have money to go to school. So only the meter was there that way because I didn't want to get any loans. So that's when I signed to join the Army Reserve. So I joined the Army Reserves after the Army Reserves for a few years, and then I decided to go on active duty. And that's what I'm still doing right now. The
Awesome.
process, yeah, the process wasn't easy, but it's doable.
Mm. And how long was that? How long ago?
So I joined in 2008. That's when I was shipped to basic training.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tiza, how about your side?
Yeah, so I came to the United States in 2009, March. Uh, Upon arriving, went straight into college. My journey was a little bit different because I got my citizenship a little bit fairly quick. I got that through by my dad. But then when I got my citizenship, I had a hard time paying for school. So what was the right solution for that? Read up about the military, the National Guard, and what kind of programs and benefits they offer. So I signed up in September of 2011 and was shipped out by the end of 2011. Uh, the training was fairly quick, completed that within 6 months, and then came back and completed my undergrad as well within the next 2 years.
Wow. So you were able to still do serve at the same time you're able to continue with your education.
Yes, so the National Guard is fairly part-time. You only have to go once a month for a
Hmm.
weekend, and then you get 2 weeks out of the year that you need to report for like full-time the actual training, your actual job to apply yourself in a military sense.
Okay. That's very nice. And I think that's one of the biggest part where people want to go to college, finish without debt, and still have a career. So I'm glad that you were able to accomplish that. Uh, I'm going to jump to the next questions. And what common myths or misconception about immigrants joining the military would you like to clear up? You can go ahead, Teaser.
Yes. So the myths, just because you're an immigrant, you'll be profiled when you join the military. No, that's not always the case. The equal employment opportunity laws still apply. So just know that the military is fairly low rules and laws based. Whatever law is there and whatever rules are there, that's just what you have to live by. And anyone who goes beyond that, we can always reprimand them as well as punish them wherever we see fit. Um, of course, I have a different way to do that from my fellow and non-commissioned officer over there, Mr. Sendano. I'm sure that it will be a little bit more physical for me, so more paperwork, make sure that we kick them out.
Okay, good. Maybe follow up with that before I come to Sindano. Um, yes, what as an immigrant, what are some of the things that helped you as an immigrant to be better at the career of the Korean military?
Uh, you, So to be better is it's like across the board. So everybody has to do their part. So you just have to go and be the expert on the field you choose to go into,
Yeah.
because military is a wide has a wide range of fields you can join to, from the
Yeah.
medical engineer, from the legal, everything you name it exists here on the civilian side. The military has it.
Yeah.
So you just have to be an expert on the field you chose, because it's just the same as working for the civilian people, but for us we have more rules you have to follow, and just be good at what you are doing and just respect the rules. That's all they want you to do.
Mm.
And just to piggyback on that, there are regulations as well as tech manuals for everything. So the first thing you go in is you pick up the book, try to read and understand how they apply themselves to their role. And like Mr. Sendano mentioned, you're part of the team. So do your part, make sure that you are treating the next person next to you the way you would want to be treated, first of all. The next the next thing is just stay physically in shape. That's the main thing that they always push for is just run, do something just to make sure that you're in shape.
Oh yeah. That that is true, and it doesn't matter what field you are. So like you mentioned, there are some things that will definitely apply to you, whatever field you are getting into. And you've mentioned the importance of even knowing how to treat your people. I mean, the people that you interact with every way, treating people with respect, and also how you carry yourself. There will always be challenges. It doesn't matter what field you go, but the only difference is how you respond and how we react to those challenges. I want to jump into the questions that I feel like many people will be wanting to hear. And you mentioned about the education part of it, but if you can just give a summary of what are the common benefits that really I would be able to gain getting my career in military. Uh, you have highlighted some, you mentioned about career, but I want to hear maybe if you can do just go on down the list of what you may have share as the benefits of joining military that will really benefits young people who are considering getting career into military.
Okay, like on the benefits, so you're gonna get trained and you're gonna get a skill which is gonna be technically free when you get trained and getting those skills. And it's gonna depend as either you're gonna go in the National Guard, you're gonna go in the Army Reserves, or you're gonna go active duty. But I wanted to highlight National Guard and Army Reserves. Can't say work the same. One, which is the National Guard, is owned by the state, and then two, the Army Reserves is owned by the federal government. So the benefits from National Guard and Army Reserves are almost similar, which are also different from the one to the active duty.
Hmm.
So you gain the skill and you gain medical benefit if you don't have it. But on the reserve side and National Guard, you have to pay like a little portion. You have to pay. On active duty, you don't have to pay anything, and you get you get paid. If you work, you get paid.
Hmm.
The pay has to come. The health benefit, I've stated that one, and what else do we? And like for my people who haven't got the citizenship, you still get the citizenship. It's fairly easy to get a citizenship if you join the military. And you can use what we call the VA loan, where you don't have to put any amount of money down as a down payment to buy a house. Just an example.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you get hurt, there is some business which are there just for people. We call the VA benefit. It's going to be there for you. Just have to file because everything in United States here, you have to file and have a proof.
Hmm.
And if you go to the education side, the education benefit is there. We have what we call tuition assistance. So the government pays almost like $4,500 every fiscal year.
Hmm.
And then we have the Montgomery GI Bill, which can pay for your college for 36 months. And we have post 9/11. That's for people who have served on active duty for uh, more than 90 days. So 90 days and above, if you served on active duty, you qualify for post 9/11. The only difference between the post 9/11 GI Bill and the Montgomery GI Bill is the post 9/11 will pay for your school fees, they pay for your lodging, and you get a stipend for 36 months. And Montgomery, the post 9/11, you can give to a relative if you don't use it.
Mm.
But the Montgomery GI Bill, which is mostly for soldiers in the Army Reserves and the National Guard, you can use it for 36 months, but it's not going to pay for your lodging. But it depends on which contract you sign. You may get a stipend, which is around $300 or $350 every month.
Mm. Every month.
Yes.
Okay. Tiza, you want to add something about the benefits?
Yeah, so I just wanted, and I see your question, Bomi, as well. I'll touch on that as well. Uh, just wanted to touch on the education benefits. So, in addition to the TA, which is 4,000 capped, um, there are two types. There are many different types of the GI Bill. So, in my case, I've been deployed before, but locally. So, I qualify for the Chapter 33. So, with that, um, you get a little bit more. You can get $2,000 at least every month in addition to 60% of your education being paid
Hmm.
for. But then there's also some state-sponsored programs if you're in the National Guard, for instance, like the Illinois State Tuition Grant, and you can use that. It doesn't matter how long you've been in, and then what your qualifications are in the military as well. I'm still using that because I'm pursuing my second master's in an MBA
Hmm.
program. And yeah, I don't have to pay anything. I'm attending SIUE over here, and it's free. So what that now allows me to do is use my Chapter 33, which I got from my deployment, and transfer that to my kid. So I have a daughter who's now going to be at least set for maybe a year plus, or close to 2 years, and still get paid for that the 2,000 for that time. And
Mm.
then now touching on Bomi's question, it says, I'm currently a green card holder with a master's degree. Can you explain the expedited naturalization process for active duty members? How soon after basic training can I apply for US citizenship? So this one, the process doesn't start after you come back from basic training. You just need to make sure that when you go to the recruiting office, let them know that you want to also start the process right there. Uh, you need to look up these two forms, the N400 as well as the N426. Those will be the two main pathways to you making sure that you get naturalized. And that starts as soon as you sign that contract. So make sure that you have your recruiter and be on top of that. A lot of people don't follow up, and that's why it takes long. But even when I joined, I know I went in for the benefits, which were school related at first, but I always made sure that I stayed on top of things and always just followed up with the concerned parties before anything came up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. It's good to know what benefits are that are available, and then you can make use of them when it's still early. And you know how long it takes? What's the normal process if you are to get recruited as a permanent resident, and how long does it take to get you naturalization?
So the naturalization process sometimes can take up to 9 months to 12 months. Some of the people that enlisted at the same time as I did got that before they were done with their basic training,
Mhm.
and that was within like 5 months of joining. Um, all they needed to do is take the test, pass it, and the next moment they were already swearing in to be a U.S. citizen. So it can vary because you still need to take the test as well as they need to check your background. So if anything comes up in your background that may be of concern, that's the only time you run into any issues.
Yeah, I know there's a gentleman that when you mentioned that, I just remember there's a gentleman we helped him when he went through that process. He got his citizenship, and then we also filed him for his family. Uh, and the process of bringing him his family was also very quick. Now the family is here in the U.S. with them. So when you mentioned that, I can really confirm that is very possible because I have walked the journey with that gentleman, and now seeing him, the family here with them, joining him here, it's very encouraging. Um,
So
let's
I can
let
tell a little bit about the citizenship.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So for the citizenship, so I have like four people who are shipping. So the process, it keeps changing. So there is a chance it can be done at the basic training.
Hmm.
And there's also a chance it can be done at the AIT. So, because right now I have one person who graduated basic training and his paperwork was processed at basic training.
Mm.
As long as they have their N400 and their 426 filled out before they get to basic training, it can be processed there.
Hmm. I love that. Let
And
me go. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you brought up a good point about family as well. So there's the I-130, which is getting someone from uh, abroad.
Hmm.
Um, but then there's also the I-131, where if someone is already in, you have parents, a spouse, or even children who are not in status. So you can apply for that and have them parole in place. What that grants you is they don't have to go back to their home country and then apply to come back. They can just stay in the US, and then the US will be recognized. Will recognize them as someone who's within status at that particular moment, even though they were out of status. But you have to then switch and make sure that you start applying to adjust their status so that they can get a green card in the US.
Great.
Yeah, the parole in place is a policy, so you have to bear in mind it's not a law, so it's not backed by Congress. So which means um, once you apply for it, you can be denied based off of the background. Most of the times it's based off of the background, but if someone was to change the laws as well, that means that can go away real quick.
Okay. Great. And we encourage people to post their questions on the chat. I think there was a question here from Nancy. What is the process of an army officer in Kenya or in whatever country in Africa to get recruited here in the US? I don't know if that happens, but maybe it has started. Maybe you may want to answer that, Sindana or Teresa. Or Tiza.
So there is only two people who are authorized to join the army. It's only a resident permit and a citizen. Only those two people. We used to have three, like so some international students were allowed to join, but it doesn't work anymore. It's only the green card holder and the citizen. That's it.
Yes, I agree. There was a time they used to have, and I know there are some people who went through that program, and it helped them to get their citizenship. But it's been a couple of years since that one stopped. Yeah. So to answer the question, you have to be a permanent resident or a U.S. citizen to be able to be recruited to serve in there. I wanted to ask another question, but people are okay to ask questions on the chat. Let me see. Since I am currently finishing affairs abroad in Nigeria, Brazil, can I start the initial background check or pick? I think see something practice before I physically land in the U.S. I don't know if that will be somebody who is already a permanent resident or
Yeah, so this is Bomi, and she said she's a green card holder already. So yeah, you can start practicing your ASVAB, and if you want to join the reserve, you can reach out to Sindan over here, and if you want to do the National Guard, I can point you to the National Guard office, or you can go there by yourself, or you can find an active duty location when you're here. But you can start practicing your ASVAB right now, and I'm sure Sindano, you might have some links that you can share maybe for those
Mhm.
practice.
I have some DRP links and some apps they can use just to practice. So if they are green card holder and they're in Nigeria, they have to come to the state to join.
Tramadol? Yes. Okay. And thank you.
Okay, sorry. And yeah, if somebody it's okay if we request if you're not speaking, you can mute yourself, and then we'll open up a session where people can ask questions towards the end. I wanted to ask this other question, probably maybe just for a general audience. What would you advise? What advice would you give to immigrants who are unsure and always very fearful about taking the first step to join the military? And I think I'm asking this question because everybody, when they think about military, they just think I'm just gonna sign up today and tomorrow I'm just gonna go into fight into the war and then I'm gonna die. So 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 how do you respond to that question for people who are very pessimistic about the military and what it comes in terms of the risk?
Okay, I'm going to start. So the military is not only war, because people see the military, they see the gun or they see the bullet.
Yes.
The military is not only war. So we have different jobs in the military where some people don't even carry a weapon. So we call them chaplain. Chaplain don't even carry a weapon. They can't carry a weapon.
Yeah.
So I've been deployed before, but I was deployed as a logistical NCO. So it's not my job to fight. My job is to support people who are fighting. So we have a lot of jobs where you can be deployed and you never see a bullet going flying on your head. So
I want that one.
it just depends on what you want to do. Because if you come to me and said, "Hey, I want to be an 11 Bravo, the infantry guy," for sure you're gonna see the action. But if you come to me and tell me, "Hey, I want to be a 68 Whiskey, which is a combat medic," there's a chance you may see because you may be attached to an infantry unit. But if you tell me you want to be a 68 Charlie, which is a nurse assistant, you'll be in the hospital. So your job is to be helping people who need help. Your job is not to go fight. But you still have to qualify as being a soldier. You still have to be a rounded soldier anyway, so that you can defend yourself in case. Even here on the civilian side, we still have to defend ourselves sometimes. which is the same in the military. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean because I've been in for 17 years. It doesn't mean, oh, we're going to deploy, oh, this thing is happening. No, everybody has their own job to do. My job is to make sure the guys who are fighting, they have the bullets, they have the weapons, they have the vehicle, they have the fuel they need so that they can go and fight. It's not my job to go fight. No.
Good question. Good answer. Teza, you wanna add something on that?
Yeah, so you got two logistics people. I'm just on the officer side. So we don't see much of the action. But then what I can say is you're not the first one to join. And there are people like me, like Sindano and a few others that are always getting in every day. So just because you join doesn't mean that you're going to start fighting right away or you're even going to be involved in a fight. Your fight might be just with the paperwork. So make sure you uh, get to understand what different jobs are out there and available. Make sure you understand what you need to do. The first part is your part only. Um, what do I do on the ASVAB? What's my score? That's what you should be worried about. That's your first fight. Once you get the best score, you qualify for more jobs and better jobs that will keep you out of seeing action.
Mhm. And there is a question there that when you mentioned about NAS, somebody is asking what is the process of a NAS who is in the US and is a US citizen to join the army and at the age of 40. It's also good to mention what is a cap for the for people to age cap for people to join the military.
Okay. So for the nurse who was a degree, and if she or he wants to keep doing the same medical jobs, he has to contact. We call them air-med recruiters. So they're only involved to recruit people who are going in the medical field who have those who have licenses or who have degrees. So that means they're only there to recruit people with medical experience. So if they want that, I can connect to them because we're not authorized to do that because they will technically become officers, becomes nurses, but they will be whenever they finish their training, they're gonna become like second lieutenants. So we don't do that. We only do OCS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you mention about the age cap? What's the age
For the
limit?
for the age gap, it's technically 42, but the authorized is 37, but they can still get a age waiver up to 42 years old.
As long as they keep fit, right?
As long as they can physically pass,
Yes.
they can test qualify,
Yeah.
and they can pass height and weight.
That's good. So the 40 years NAS, you still have a chance. And I think maybe based on that,
What are
um,
in Zimbabwe?
do do you want to share something about, I don't know, somebody is asking maybe in the question, um, can you choose to take the BMT in the next holiday season, like in the summer, or do I have to start and then go back to studying? I don't know if you have the answer to that.
So
So that I,
BMT, that's Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, we do basic training, so BCT. So you can do, it depends if you're in college, you can do a split up option. You can do a split up option where you go and do your basic training, and then you can go later to go do your, but you don't have to bypass 365 days to go and do your AIT, which is your individual advanced training.
Mm-hmm.
So that one is done for the reserve, and I think for the National Guard. It's not done for the active duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can one start to become, I don't think it's maybe when can one start to become a military doctor? Maybe on this part of the field, specialty field, do you want to highlight, maybe on the question that Cecilia is asking, to highlight some of the military, I mean the other career field, doctors, nurses, what are there engineers? Can you highlight all the different field that people can be able to benefit being in the military?
So we have the medical portion where you have the nurses, you have the doctors, you have the technician, like X-ray technician. Everybody in the medical field is there. Even medical logistics, they're also there. We have the engineers. The engineers, that's why you have the people who do skill work, like the carpenters, the plumbers, the heavy equipment operators, the boat technician. You have them. And then you have in the logistics side, which we call Cora Masters. Cora Masters, you have the regular logistics, you have the mechanics, you have the fuelers, you have, let me see, you have the water purification guys, you have the cooks. So we have everybody. So the Cora Master, the engineers, the medical, the legal, and we have also the arms guys, where you have the special forces guys, the infantry guys. They're also in their realm of, and then you have which other portion. So if you, for the doctors, they all belong to the medical.
Okay.
So that's their specialty. So those are the medical guys. They have their own command and they have their own way they do stuff. Which in the army you may find the engineers, they don't do things the same as medical. Because the engineers are there to build and to destroy. That's what they do. So the medical guys are there to heal and to make sure you're okay.
Yourself, yeah.
But the logistic guys, we're there to make sure the engineers have what they need, the medical guys have what they need, the infantry guys have what they need, and the legal guys have everything they need so that they can do their job. So in the logistics, the Cora Master, we have the drivers, the mechanic, we have people who do laundry. That kind of job is going away. So we have people who are divers. We have parachute riggers, people who do the parachutes. So they're all kind in the Cora Master room.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing from you is that it doesn't matter what field, what career field you are, whatever area that you feel like you want, whether it's engineering, healthcare, there is a place for you. There is a place for you to continue with that. And I think maybe that's why many of them who even were coming out of the active duty, they are able to come and continue in the same field that they were working. Which answers the other benefits of what I see a lot of people getting in. When you are doing the application, they ask you, have you been served in the military? So that when you check that box, then there is also some
Baba.
that comes with
Baba. How are you,
so,
Baba? Hey.
so we can be able to. I mean, I would just want to add that's another additional benefit that comes for people to continue whatever field that you want to do. You want to continue doing after even you serve the military. There was a question about the teachers. Do they have places for teachers also?
In the military, the teachers are, we don't have teachers, but you can join. So being a teacher in the military, you, first of all, everybody in the military, you have to be a soldier first. Or you have to be an airman, you have to be a marine or whatever it is. So you have to be a soldier first. Teaching, like going to teach on these military academies, is like a specialty. So you have to qualify for it. So like mostly like for us, non-commissioned officer, which we are a little bit different from the commissioned officer. So for us, we go and teach like on NCO Academy, which is like non-commissioned officers academy. And sometimes we also teach even the commissioned officers, we teach them. So, because most of the non-commissioned officers have been in for a long time, so they have to teach these commissioned officers how to do things. By commissioned officers, they usually go further with their education, and they will come and just be, and they're going to be the people who technically maintain the rule and the law to make sure it's being applied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, just to touch on that as well. NCOs, non-commissioned officers, are in charge of teaching altogether, but they teach because they are experts in their field. And then we as officers will understand the breadth because we are not only working with uh, supply or logistic NCOs who make sure that we have all the necessary needs, clothing, and whatever we may need. We're also working with the mechanics. We're working with those who are drivers. We're working with those that are maintaining our equipment as well. So we know a little bit of everything, but not in depth as the NCOs. So once they become experts in their fields, then they go out and teach.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask this question on behalf of the parents who are in the audience, and I'm hoping that they may want to, if they have a question. But what would you say to immigrants' parents whose children are considering military service as a future career?
So you want to get this, sir?
Yeah. The basic thing again, I'll regurgitate. Just make sure that you study up. Make sure you pass the ASVAB. See the jobs you qualify for. What's your passion? And like Sindano mentioned, there'll be other jobs that he hasn't mentioned, like military intelligence. You can be just in computers, or you can do any other electronics maintenance as well. So study up and then think about what you want to do first, and then use the military to gain that knowledge that you might need after the service. So think about after the service as well, not just whilst you're in service.
Okay.
So I can add one thing, sir. So for parents who are immigrant and they have a doubt of letting a child who is interested in the military is, I would say, because most of our parents who are immigrant, they scared that when their kids go, they're gonna go die.
Yes.
That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
For they need to let the child go experience so that they can be there to defend themselves and they can build their own life and help them if they have to. Because dying, we can die anytime. There are people getting shot in St. Louis.
That's true.
There is so technically living in St. Louis, you have a higher percentage of dying than being in the military.
Yeah.
So technically, somebody can just shoot you, but in the military, technically, you know that hey, I'm going this place. They're gonna be this and this. They're gonna be A and Z.
Mm.
So in the military, it just depends. As I said, it just depends on the job you select. It's just the same as a civilian. It's just because we operate on a different level, which is we have double the rule than a civilian. Because if you have a mistake today, I'll be punished.
To give you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be punished twice. So I'll be punished by the UCMJ first, and then the civilian side is gonna catch me too, and I'll also be punished. So yeah, so for us, following the rules and the law is paramount, which is gonna make sure you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I think that you've answered very well. The biggest fear of parents is to see that war idea of thinking about war comes into their mind the first. And I was talking to somebody today, and I say that with the discipline that uh, military trains our young people and the exposure that they have to develop different skills and all the opportunities. I feel like looking at some of the young people that in our community that are graduating from high school and they will not take serious course or different serious whether it's going to college or something. I find it those people are now what you have mentioned that they end up now taking a different path, and that person is likely to get to substance abuse, somebody is likely to get to gang and other stuff, and now you have a higher risk because this person is always now in a very compromising situation environment where you are likely to lose these kids because many of them end up having guns there, or they have a lot of guns in their house, in their car, in whatever. So the same way you're trying to protect them from the gun and they start thinking being in the gun, I mean, the military is more risky. I think they end up being in more riskier situation than just joining the military. Um, and then maybe I don't know if you wanted to add on that because I wanted you to add a little bit more about the discipline. But yes, we know about the work, but what is so unique about what the military teaches? Because when you talk about discipline, we'll talk about they make he's so organized like a military man. His room is so clean like a military man. He keeps time like a military man. He's so respectful, like somebody who has been in the military. What is this that we are taught in the military that we're not getting it outside?
So in the military discipline is the first thing because you can be in the military and you're undisciplined.
Mm.
So I remember when I went to basic training. So one of our instructor told us that undisciplined man or undisciplined woman is a dead person.
Mm.
Because if you are undisciplined, that means you have no respect of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you don't have respect of the law, that's how people end up in the hospital or they end up in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then because we work, we have to obey the law, we have to obey the rules of engagement. So we have that ingrained that you have to follow the rules so that you can survive.
Mm.
So respect is a big thing before they even, because if I don't trust you, I cannot deploy with you.
Mm.
So and then we form like a family bond, because if I know I'm deploying with you, so you got my back, I got your back. So I have to trust you first. And that also includes the discipline, because I know if before I trust you, I need to see how you do stuff.
Mm.
If you're sloppy, I'm not gonna trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So discipline is like paramount, and that's why we usually, when people get off the military, the first thing which usually makes them to be marketable in the civilian side is discipline, because they know
Yes.
that you're gonna be at work at the
Time.
time you are told.
Mm.
You're gonna do what you are told, and
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go home at the time you're supposed to go home.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we usually get like a preference when I go to apply to a job with some. Even for right now, if I go to apply to a logistic job with somebody who didn't join the military, I'm gonna be on tier 1 because they already know what I'm capable of doing.
Yes.
But for the civilian, they are guessing. Is this guy gonna do the job? But for me, they already know, already have an idea that, hey, if this guy has been in the military for this long, that means he respects the law. He does what he's told what to do, and he does it on time. And that's it. And that's how things usually work.
I agree. That is that. I mean, the self-discipline is one big that I would say a big reason why I give a lot of credit for people joining the military because of the discipline that comes with it. Self-discipline is huge. Now, when you mentioned that, and we just talked about when we were still on the same topic of the discipline, looking back, how has the military service been able to change your life?
So personally, I have financial freedom.
Nice.
Which means is I can afford what I need. And I can do other things which is given to me by the military. It gives me, because not too many jobs these days let you retire at 20 years. But the military is still doing that. So not that too many jobs which is gonna match your retirement if you wanna do your own personal retirement account. And not too many jobs can give you free health insurance. Not too many jobs can send you to school for free and pay you at the same time. So that's for me, because right now my daughter is gonna go to school for free because I didn't use my post-9/11 GIB. So that is out for me. So I have to fight for my son now. But I already have something for him. So even if I'm not alive anymore, they still have money to go to school.
Man, I'm gonna give you one of my son.
Yeah.
That Teza, what you got to add on that?
Yeah, just adding on the discipline and leadership skills that you learn from the military. A lot of companies will look for you. They'll always be searching for people who show up with leadership skills. And with the introduction of AI, like there are some jobs that they always say are going to go away, but leadership is not one thing that will go away. You always have to have those necessary skills that will allow you to manage other people. So the military gets you exposed to that way early on, from the get-go. You just arrive at basic training. They're already teaching you how to work with other people, how to be a leader, how to stand out, and make sure that um, you are able to represent yourself in a reputable manner. So one of the things that again I can touch on is just those skills that will make you stand out from all the other people that are doing the same things that you're doing.
Yep, I agree. So I'm gonna give space for anybody in the audience. If you have a questions, you can ask, unmute yourself, or raise your hand, and you can ask your question. Or if you can post it on the chat. There is a question that says, "Hello, I'm a permanent resident, and I am in dilemma of if I should first go to school or join military." That's anyone of you can respond to that.
So they're asking, oh, go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to say that's a case by case statement. So we might need to maybe talk to you and then figure out your situation on a one-to-one. But in a general sense, I would always say join the military, let the military pay for your school, and then from there you'll be set because you don't have to worry about all the financial rigors that a lot of people have to deal with.
Great. Imani?
So yeah, I wanted to add, it's kind of like the same way is it just depends on what they want to do. Some people have money to go to school. If you do, that's okay. Some people don't have. But if you choose to get a loan, that's fine too, because you still gonna have to pay it back. But if you wanna go for free, the military could be a way for you to start exploring.
Okay. So if you are able to go before and get your free education, then you don't need to go to wait. I mean, to go to the college first. You can go and then do your college when you're already in the military. and then you have the benefit of getting it tuition free. Is that what you say?
Yes. So the military will pay for your college.
Okay.
And when they pay for your college, you also have to sign a contract because it's give and take.
Mm.
So, like people who wants to go to college, the Army Reserve, the National Guard is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you finish high school and you have no plans of going to college and you're not doing anything meaningful, I think the military is something you need to visit and see if it can work for you.
Okay, that's true. So that means now, for people who wanna get to have one-on-one information and detailed information about it, I think it would be good if they can reach out to either you or Tiza, or have a follow-up with you and see if they can get their questions answered.
Sure. So for me, they can call me anytime. I get paid for talking to people.
Well, I want to be like you when I grow up, man.
So
I
that's why
talk a lot. I should be very rich.
that's why recruiters do. So we get paid for talking to people. And you see if you have any options. That's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah. I can
That
give
would be
them my
perfect.
number and they can call me. I know you have my personal number. I can give them my work number if they want to. They can call me anytime they want.
I think that would be good for you to post the on the chat there, the number and the email for those who want to follow up with you for one-on-one.
Yeah, let me see if you can.
Yeah. And the reason why we asking these questions and why we have Amani and why we have Tiza in this forum, I wanted also the people to see that we have Africans. Amani is from Congo, Tiza is from Zimbabwe. So if the we put a lot of fear about people get to the military, but it's also good to hear those who are already there. Because the people who are also giving advice about military and all that, none of us has been into the military before, but we are very good in giving advice how dangerous it is and why you should not get into it. But I think if we have people who are already there, let's hear from them. Let's hear from their personal experience. And what I'm hearing from you, I'm not hearing from people say, "Don't come here." I'm looking forward to get out. So we're telling people that you've been there, and you've been there for years, and I know there are so many of them that I have gone through the program. I know them in the community. Like now, I know it like in Africa Chamber of Commerce. The president of Africa Chamber of Commerce is actually an active duty. So we have people in the community, and we hearing them sharing their personal stories is what actually uh, that we want our community to be aware of it so that they can make an informed decision at the end when they want to do whatever they want to do and make the decision of the route they want to take in life. Anybody with a question, I'm going to give a few minutes because I was very specific today with time. We will provide their contact information. So if you want to do a follow-up and detail about the career in military, you can follow up with either Tiza or Sindano. But if you have a question, you can unmute yourself or post in the chat.
Hi, my name is Randy. I just wanted to say something that when y'all talked about how if you're gonna go to college, right? So instead of going to college, you go to the military first. What I was able to learn is that for me, what I was able to figure out was the fact that instead of going to pursue something different, pursue what you're gonna do in college. That way, when you do it in the military, you also get what is it called? The experience.
Mm-hmm.
That way, whenever you're out of the military, now you want to do something different, like out of the military with the exact same job. You already have experience that they already have gotten.
Mm-hmm. That's a good advice. Okay. That's a good advice. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's when you have some, and I have seen people who have done. I know a friend of mine who had just finished the nursing school, and after he got his BSN, he was able to go to the military, and he's doing very well in the field. And thank you, Tiza and Imani for putting the contacts there. And then I'll also put mine just in case people want to follow up with me. I can also connect them with the two gentlemen. We also have some contacts with the people in the Navy, those who want to get into other areas. So I think from all connections we have, we can direct you. And even when you talk to Tiza or Imani, they can always tell you based on your interests, they can guide you on where you can be able to which path to follow. I want to ask, this will be the last questions so that we can wrap it up. What will be your advice or any message that you want to share right now? We have people reaching out to a lot of people asking you so many questions different ways, and you have this audience of people, 30 plus people that you would want to talk to, and our parents who may be listening to this later. What would be your advice that you give for as far as the parent who has a kid in the school or in the high school or in college, to help them maybe get clear understanding of what it is to be in the military. Then if they sit down with the kid, with their son or their daughter who says, "I want to go to the military," and especially maybe related to that question will be, there are people who go to school, they want to go to school, but they can't afford because it's too much expensive. But then the only option comes in is because the military can pay. Would that be enough for somebody to say that it would be the reason why I want to join the military, and knowing that if they go there, they find that it was not just a walkover to get to the military. But, I mean, I wanted to hear from your thoughts if you have to summarize in your few words about in the area.
So
Because that comes up a lot.
So for me, it's not only to pay for school. You can learn a lot of things in the military, which is not only for school. So it's going because it's on case by case basis, because some people join the military for different reasons.
Mm.
Some just want to save the country. Some want to get their their immigration status fixed. Some join for going to school. Some just join just to learn how to discipline themselves. Some just have a low self-esteem and they want something to push them. It technically comes to, it depends on the person, what they want, what they need, and what they qualify for. Because it's not everybody who are made for the military, no.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are made to help the military people.
Mm-hmm.
So the military is not for everybody. I think we are only 1% in the United States.
Mm.
So it just depends on what's the reason they are looking into the military. Because there is a lot of ways to go to school.
Mm.
Are they easy? I don't think so. So it just depends on what they want and what they qualify for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so touching on, right.
Let me add, and if the parents have a question and they want to sit, I have no problem. I can come and sit down with both of them. They will ask questions. It's up to them to make a decision because this is a volunteer army or the volunteer force. So nobody gonna force them. It's their choice. They will just get the answers on the question they have, and they have to make a choice if really the military is for them. Because the military is not for everybody, as I said.
Mm. I
Because
agree.
you can choose to be in the military. There is also a process. Maybe the process can kick you out. So there is also a process. But it depends on the choice and what they want. And so you can add more if you got some. So
Yeah, so the major thing I was going to touch on is um, what you just ended with, the physical aspect. It can be sometimes physically demanding, so make sure that when you go in, um, that we are not there to kill you or we are attacking you. We're just trying to make sure that you're in good physical shape, and after that, sometime you get used to it. But the major thing is education will always be covered. Parents, no one has entered the military and then their child doesn't come back a better individual.
Mm.
We're always making sure that we equip them with the right skills. And because it's a small population, it's only 1%, you build a wider network. There are a lot of people, like, for example, in the National Guard, some of them are lawyers, some of them uh, are doing other things in the medical field, or some of them are mechanics. For instance, I'm able to just pick up the phone call sometimes for small issues, call one of my friends in Nebraska. If I need one of my friends from California, I can always reach out to them and they'll be able to assist me with whatever thing that I might be challenged with. So
Mm.
that network that you build can push you a long way or push your child a long way because they know someone in different areas. Uh, when I first became an officer, I started working with someone who was already working at the Pentagon. So it's like, okay, I have someone who I can rely on for actual information that I might need, things like that.
Great, great. I see there's a question on the chat here. It says, thank you for your time and for sharing. Is joining the military still a fast track to obtaining U.S. citizen given the current political situation?
okay, I can answer to that. So there is a lot of politics going around, and people are getting misinformed. But for right now, we don't have any ETP or any regulation which say that if you join as a green card holder, you're not gonna get a citizenship. So
Yeah.
right now, we don't have any memo saying that they're not gonna get it. It's something where in DC there, until we get it, yes, we can say, okay, you can get by. Right now, as we speak, I shipped somebody with a green card which expired 2 months ago, but I had to get his extension, and the immigration gave him an extension for 4 years. And I called where he was going to Fort Jackson, which is in South Carolina. I called them and said, hey, is this process still being done here? They said, for now, yes.
Okay, great.
So because things change, but for
Mm.
now, we don't have any say. For now, the process is still going.
Great, great. I want to say this, take this chance to thank you so much to our panelists today, Tisa Siminyola and Amani Sindano, who are also great resource in our community. But also thanking you too for serving in the military. I think we always take for granted where we always say that we want to stay in a very specific country, very protected country, but we don't want to go in the military. We don't want our children to go to the military, but we want to stay safe. so, seeing some of our sons and daughters like you being in the field that we enjoy the freedom because of what you do. I want to say thank you on behalf of the people in the audience, but also on behalf of the community of the immigrant here in St. Louis, which this is our home. This is our country home, and we want to protect the country. We want to give the best because this is where we are. This is where our families are. This is where our children are. And we appreciate you for being part of this and sharing your taking time to join us today, but also even not just for today, but also in the past, all the conversation we've had, and every time we reach out for a call, and sending people to reach out to you for the questions. You've always been there to answer that. I want to say thank you so much, but also thanking everyone who joined us today. We appreciate your time, and thank you for taking all the information and ask all those questions that you've asked. It's been helpful for our conversation tonight, and I'm sure those who've been able to listen to the conversation or to the recording, they will be able to benefit. Take that information that you've learned, reach out to the people who are asking for maybe having some questions, share with them, and help to answer those questions. Now they don't have to answer. They don't have to ask us. They don't have to ask me because they have the answers. They have people like they had 30 people at one time that can be able to be advocate for or educate us in the community. For tomorrow, the next time I want to say we will keep inviting you, and every time people have questions, I can see this was a question that came up because some 2 or 3 people asked the questions, and I say, you know what, we're going to put together an event. And fortunately, we were able to get Tiza and Sindana, who responded with a very short notice. So we don't take it for granted for that. If anything comes up and you really want us to have more conversation, please reach out to us, and we'll be able to create a platform where we can be able to have experts or even people who can be able to give more information that we are looking for. In terms of the announcement, this Saturday, we have our first meeting for this year for our youth. We normally have our youth mentorship meeting the 3rd Saturday of the month at 11:30, and we are meeting here at the office. And then on next week, we have on January 22nd, we have our mentors meeting. If you are a mentor and you want to be part of the mentorship program, we have our first meeting for the month of January. On January 22nd, we plan to meet at African Palace in the evening. So we'll be sharing that information. You can follow up with us. And then on the month of February, in our regular monthly meeting, that will be February 24th, we will meet all the mentors and the mentees. And that includes Amani and Teza, who can also be able to join. So now at that time we can have, because it's going to be in person, we want those who want to learn more about getting field, the career field in military. But in that time for the mentors, it's all the mentors from different fields, doctors, engineers, teachers. They will be there. And we believe the community gets stronger, the community thrives when people are willing to give back. People are willing to lift each other.
This group is for African community.
So
in
thank
Missouri.
Thank you.
Actually, in St. Louis, around St. Louis.
Okay. All right. With that, I'll say thank you so much. Unless there's anything that I've left, I didn't see anything on the chat. I just see people saying thank you. But we will keep in touch, and hopefully we can meet again when we have the next topic. Other than that, thank you so much, and enjoy the week and enjoy the upcoming weekend.